Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Inbound 2020. So I've been told that, and I don't know, and a big thank you to Taylor in the background, but I've been told by Taylor that this is the first segment. So I don't know whether that's a good thing, whether I'm the guinea pig, or it's a bad thing. But let's see how we go. If you can hear me, drop something in the chat pane, say hello, give me an idea where you're from, what time it is. Going to drop something in myself. Hello, maybe Siddique. Okay, I might give it another minute. If you're here, if you can hear me, drop in something in the chat pane. Say hello. Tell me where you're from. Ian, Mr. Ian Jacob, thank you so much. I was starting to get worried there. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ian from the Hubcast, oh, sorry, Hubshots podcast. Lena from Colombia, Gemma, someone's calling 5:30, Cape Town. Okay. I think I've got a delay. Fantastic, guys. Switzerland, New Jersey, London. Okay, I think 6:30 is the earliest I got so far. Can anyone beat 6:30? Is it any earlier anywhere else? 11:30 in the UK. Rob, hello. Kansas City. All right, guys, fantastic. You can definitely hear me. Thank you so much. Now, TikTok's a really, really interesting one. And I'm assuming that some of you guys, or most of you guys, are concerned about it, are thinking about it, are thinking, what do we do with this medium? And I want to talk to that. And obviously, I'll open it up for Q&A in a second. But one of the key things I do want to mention, and the other thing too, we'll also talk about the algorithm. We'll talk about Donald Trump's war on TikTok as well. So anything and everything TikTok related is open. So please shoot through your questions. I'm going to jump into the Q&A pane now. So as and when you think about questions, just drop them into the Q&A section. Give me your question, and I'm sure I'll see it. So anyway, as far as TikTok goes, it's one of those things where whether or not you care, whether or not you think it's right for you, you need to be across it. You need to understand that it's here, and it is the biggest shift in social media since Instagram. And why do I say that? So in an answer, it's snackable content. So the reason why the algorithm has done so well, the reason why it has grown, it's growing faster than every other platform that's out there, is it's snackable. And the best example I can give you is, and I can't remember who it was, but say you're sitting next to your partner and you see a bunch of beauty videos, see a bunch of dancing videos. Guess what? That means you like it. The algorithm is so clever. It's been able to do what the other platforms don't. So for those of you who don't know, let's start really, really basic. You've just downloaded TikTok and you've opened up TikTok. You'll see a whole bunch of random things. Now, my feed is very different to my wife's feed. My wife sees organization tips and nature and planting. I see business content. I'm seeing a lot of funny videos from Pakistan, which is interesting because I'm Australia right now, so Pakistan's apparently trending right now. So it's algorithmic. So it's based on whatever you dwell on. So if you're stopping just for a split second on the funnies, you're going to get more of those. And that's why this platform's going to work so well. So for me personally, I've found that it's one of those things that whether you like it or not, as a marketer, you need to be across this because that's the future of content. It's snackable, it's quick, and it's fast. And the other thing too, and I can see some questions coming in, so I'll jump into the questions in a second. One thing you need to realize, it's not all booty videos, it's not all tweens dancing. I can't remember how current this stat is, but the older audience over 30 is the fastest growing segment on TikTok. A third of TikTok's audience actually is over 30. That's a lot of people. Just like Facebook, now it's for all the oldies. And before, there was a time when it was for the cool kids. That's the exact same thing that is happening with TikTok. So don't be one of those a couple of years from now, be like, oh man, I wish I jumped on Instagram when it was year one. I wish I leveraged Facebook before they destroyed the algorithm. So that's sort of my tip there. Now, in terms of questions, let's kind of kick it straight to the questions. Do you have any examples about successful B2B campaigns on TikTok? And there's another question around how do you leverage TikTok within B2B marketing? So one thing you need to keep in mind is I'm not that funny and I'm not that good of a dancer. All my content is business content. All my content is marketing content. All my content, dare I say, is actually B2B content. Now, the first thing you have to think about when you have TikTok is not what trend you're going to jump on, or what dance you're going to jump on, or what effect you're going to jump on. The first thing I sort of think about is you need to think about TikTok like a wedding planner. Now, if anyone here has been married, you know what it's like. You have a bunch of people that sit together, and then you have all these random people and you don't know what table to put them on. That's what TikTok is like. TikTok's trying to figure out, okay, are you a funny? Do I sit you with the accountants? Do I sit you with the marketers? Do I sit you with the sports buff? So from a B2B perspective, absolutely it's important. I've seen a number of businesses. So there's a photography business that I follow. She's always putting up tips and tricks and things that you can do. So the first thing you need to sort of think about is what do you want to be known for? What do you actually want to be known for? It's not about being popular. It's not about being famous. It's what do you actually want to be known for on this platform? If you're in construction, if you're in marketing, accounting, what's that area of expertise you want to be known for? And then the other thing I'll sort of say is I will never create any content on any platform if I don't already know before I create it 3 other places where I can put that content. So I'm not talking about repurposing here. I'm not talking about creating an ebook and then you repurpose it into a video. No. Before I even create it. So how I actually use it is I've got a podcast as well, Inbound Buzz. And what do I talk about on the podcast? Well, whatever content has been trending and working for me on my TikToks, I know that's going to work on my podcast. So in terms of B2B, there are absolutely a bunch of examples that you'll find online. And the point is, it's not about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000. Even if you have 1,000 followers in your B2B space, that's going to work. Okay, so a bunch of questions here. I'll just go through them. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, B2B. So one last thing, because I know the B2B thing came up a lot, just in terms of campaigns, don't think of it as a campaign. Think of it as what's my content plan. So if I know I want to be known for a particular industry, say accounting, and I know the type of audience I'm going after, the next stage is then to also think about your frequency. So to grow hyper fast, you do need to post multiple times per day. But to grow at a consistent pace, I'd say posting 3 to 5 times per day is important. The other piece of advice I'll give you guys, it's not about long pieces of content. 99% of all my TikToks are 15 seconds. And what it teaches you is how much fluff is in a normal video. So my most popular video is around how to create an actual LinkedIn headshot using Canva and creating a ring around it. It's taken me 20 seconds to say that. That's a 15-second TikTok that generated over 1 million views. So the point I'll sort of make is once you know, it's not necessarily about a campaign and you're pushing a particular campaign. It's about your always on content. It's about that content you're going to have on other platforms, on other networks as well. I don't like the idea of risking creating one piece of content on a platform that might be gone in a couple of weeks or in a couple of months. So the idea is where can I kind of leverage that and have my frequency? Okay, let's see what else we got here. I'll sort by most upvotes to see what we got. My TikTok username, by the way, is Moby Siddique, and that's a very good question. After this, if there's anything that I haven't answered, because we do have a hard finish at 9 o'clock, I'll be doing a TikTok live. Obviously, I'm talking about TikTok, so I'll be on TikTok live, Moby Siddique, and any other questions there, I'll do a recap and I'll answer any questions there. And can you give an example of a TikTok video that would work for marketing to doctors? Okay, so marketing to doctors. Let's think about this. Now, there are actually a lot of doctors already on TikTok. There's the cosmetic surgeons, for example, are very, very well across it. So in terms of marketing to doctors, we have to realize that there are probably doctors there. There is going to be medical content that is already resonating, is already working quite well. So a lot of doctors I know there's a psychologist who, her name is Julie. I can't remember her last name. She's always asking questions or answering questions. So if you're marketing to doctors and say you're a healthcare company or a healthcare service provider and you're marketing to doctors, I would actually focus on other doctors, like doctors who are doing well, doctors who have pivoted in this new COVID. Like, what are doctors doing from a telehealth point of view? How are doctors responding? What are doctors like? What's their favorite COVID mask? Like anything that sort of talks to doctors, or actually getting other doctors on and sharing content from actual doctors. Okay, what frequency is recommended for publishing content? I'll give you two answers. So in February or March, I did a keynote on TikTok, and I was committed to getting some data, and I grew from 7 to 12,000, I think 7 to 12,000 in less than 2 months. And how I did it was I posted literally 4 times per day. 4 times per day. I planned my TikToks for the entire week and I posted. Now, I'll tell you something, that's not sustainable. I did that for 2 months, and I wouldn't see my family at night because I was committed to doing these TikToks. The TikTok algorithm is as such, it will reward you the more content you put. It's not like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. People get worried about, if it's not going to work, it will fall off. It's not like that. If you want to grow hyper, you want to grow fast, you do need to post multiple times per day. And I'd say 2 to 4. Now, that's something that's not necessarily sustainable. So what I've kind of drawn that back to. Now, I will say that helped me grow to 12, 13,000 fans in less than 2 months. That's what helped me grow. I focused on a particular type of content. I looked at filters that were trending. I used sounds that were trending. Every so often, you'll be able to jump onto things that are trending. So Valentine's Day happened. And I said, look, here, according to Google Trends, obviously I'm a digital marketer. According to Google Trends, here are the 5 most popular Valentine's Day songs. It was a marketing thing, but it was also a Valentine's Day thing as well. So in terms of actually like hyper growth, you do need to post a lot. But if you do want to have that consistent growth, I definitely would say 3 to 5 times per week if you can. And that'll sort of get you out of there. How does YouTube benefit? How does TikTok benefit search? Any advantages? YouTube will start to dominate, right? Okay, so 2 things here. You can actually embed TikToks onto a web page. You can embed a TikTok onto your WordPress or HubSpot website page. You can do that. You could always, this is something that I'm just sort of playing with. I don't have any data on, but I'm playing with the idea of taking a TikTok that is really, really popular, say like my LinkedIn one, and embedding that onto a WordPress page on our website and doing some sort of commentary there. Now, if we know anything about if we know anything about Google and search, it's about giving relative results, giving the most useful results to people at any given time. So, of course, Google is a bit of a competitor to everyone. So I can't say that it will start ranking TikToks, but I will say that Google has at times shown other videos from other platforms, Vimeo videos, Wistia videos. It has done that. In terms of YouTube, don't see it as it will still dominate. It's a different type of content. So for example, if I'm doing a series on HubSpot, right, I might do a bunch of, no, I didn't say series. My Siri just opened. If I'm doing a series of videos on HubSpot, I might do a 15-second video on here's how HubSpot personalizes subject titles. And I've just done a TikTok on that. Here's why HubSpot is better than MailChimp, or here's my favorite workflow on HubSpot. These TikToks will be 15 seconds or 60 seconds long. Now on YouTube, I can extend that conversation. And one thing I will say that when my TikTok grew, I noticed a very strong correlation with my Instagram growth and my YouTube growth. Because the one thing that TikTok did that the other networks have failed to do is TikTok makes it easy to share. It makes it very easy to export. They don't care if you take that TikTok and you put it on LinkedIn like I do, or you take that TikTok and you put it on your Instagram stories, and the 15-second ones work perfect on Instagram stories. TikTok doesn't care. All it will do will drop a little watermark or TikTok in the bottom and top corners. It doesn't care. So it makes it very easy. So having said that, when your TikTok growth grows, people are naturally going to go onto Instagram. I've had a bunch of people ask me, whether I consult on TikTok, whether I do. I actually got a couple of SEO leads as well. They weren't in our region, so I couldn't help them. But people will go from those networks to other networks. And my point around TikTok is it's an area where you can grow. Like on YouTube, we only have 200 followers, 200 subscribers. On TikTok, I've got close to 30,000. So that's where people are. That's where I'm able to leverage reach right now, and it will help my other platforms for sure. And that's why I always sort of say, if you're going to be creating TikToks, think about how you're going to create a YouTube video or how you're going to create an article. Like always link that to something else. How important is it to reply to all the comments? Some of them are crazy. Even some of the troll, like the people who troll, I'll actually sort of reply back and I'll say, thank you for your contribution. How's your day, or why did you say that? And the reason is whether I have good comments or bad comments, the TikTok algorithm loves that. It loves that people are commenting. Sometimes, and I don't do this, but sometimes you have people that will deliberately troll people or will deliberately do, and I'm not a big believer of hacks. I like doing it the good way, the long-term way, the consistent way. But people will do things like have the text appear for just 1 second. So you'll force people to watch the replay. I'll admit, sometimes I do that one. I might leave it for 2 seconds. I'll force the replay, or they'll put a typo, or they'll facilitate comments. So I think when you grow in the start, it's very important to reply to comments. But once it kind of gets crazy, set yourself some time, do it once a day or once every 2 days. But and also too, the other thing about comments is if you look at my latest TikTok or my second most latest TikTok, is TikTok has this feature where a lot of my content comes from questions. Like people will ask me, I'll put something on HubSpot and someone will ask me, oh, hey, is HubSpot better than Salesforce, right? And I think we all know the answer there. So I can then reply to that comment as a video. And then in my TikTok, it will do this nice speech bubble. It will have the comment there, and then I can talk to that. And that facilitates a lot of my ad hoc, quick content. And the other thing too, guys, is people are forgiving on TikTok. You can do these quick and dirty ones. You can do these ones where you're walking down the hall, or you're in your car, or you're quickly responding to something. So the production entry level is very low on TikTok. All right, I'll answer this one because this is one I definitely wanted to talk about. Is do you feel worried about the politics around data security and the hype in recent press? To be completely honest, and that's a fantastic question. To be completely honest with you, no, I'm really not, because I think, unfortunately, the privilege of having social media, Instagram, Facebook, all these data platforms is, unfortunately, and this is not something I'm necessarily happy about, but we give up a little bit of privacy. So don't think that data isn't available. Like, don't think that data is completely closed as well. So from that point of view, I'm not, I'm probably more left leaning. I'm probably more of a socialist than a capitalist, but at the same time, it's something that we have to live with. Now, in regards to, this is one thing I definitely wanted to talk about, is the ban. Now, if you guys have been following the news right now, the ban to down, and see, America is one of the biggest markets, right? If the US bans TikTok, then that's going to be a big problem for its growth in the rest of the world, because a lot of the influences come from the US. And indeed, in the start of the year, when Ellen came on and The Rock came on and all these influencers came on, these celebrities came on, that's where a lot of the oldies, and when I say oldies, I mean above 30 like me, that's when a lot of the oldies jumped onto the platform, the influx of the older demographic. So that's going to be a big stab. Now, I'm not worried about it, which I'll get to in a second. Now, if you have been following the news, what they're sort of saying is Donald Trump was going to ban the download of TikTok in the US a few days ago. Now, that has been extended till the 27th. So what that means is they're waiting until the 27th to see whether ByteDance, the company that owns TikTok, and Oracle, and obviously an American company, can come to an agreement. Now, it's not looking good, but I don't think that matters. The reason why it's not looking good is because Donald Trump is saying that if an American company will buy it, they need the IP as well. They need to own it. Now, I seldom ever say this. You'll never hear me say this, and not to get political, but Donald Trump does have a point here, because you're not going to buy something if you're not going to get the technology. The problem in China is these companies, the government will hold onto that IP, will hold onto that technology. So when it becomes a pissing contest between America and China, you can probably tell what's going to happen. It doesn't look like it doesn't look positive. But I'm not too worried about that, because either it is going to be bought by Oracle, or it's going to be cancelled. But the thing, guys, you need to remember is that TikTok has unveiled this new form of content, the idea of snackable content, the idea that, like I said earlier, 99% of my TikToks are 15 seconds. And the other tip I'll give to you guys as well, if you're going to grow, if you're trying to grow, you don't have, if you're not an influencer yet, TikTok doesn't yet trust you. You're just like everyone else. So the dwell time, the amount of your content has to be phenomenal to have a 60-second dwell time. For 15 seconds, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I could just do a TikTok now and say, got, stop. Here are 3 seconds why HubSpot is much better than Salesforce. Bang, bang, bang. I can do that really, really quickly and someone will hear me out. So especially when you're new, especially when you're starting, try to play. Look, by all means, play. Just test and learn, play. But in my opinion, sticking to 15 seconds is going to force you to make your content very succinct. You're going to get to the point very quickly. You don't have a choice otherwise. And it gives the algorithm a chance to start learning whether you're good for that, quote unquote, that wedding table that is trying to put you on. It will give you that practice. And also too, you're not going to be as worried with production quality as well. A minute is a long time. It's a long time. So hopefully I answer that question. I'm not worried about the politics because I think that what's going to happen is whether it's TikTok or Schmix Schmock or Reels by Instagram, the algorithm and all the networks do this. You guys know this. All the networks steal from the other networks. And the dwell time on TikTok is phenomenal. Like the average time is like an hour, 59 minutes or something. So TikTok is onto something, folks. TikTok has the ability to just send people down a rabbit hole. User-triggered live behavior, user-triggered content based on exactly what you and I like. And we will have very, very, very different feeds. So that algorithm is not difficult to replicate for someone like Facebook. So the idea of us becoming users first, jump on, if you haven't used it, jump on as a user, try not to go down too many rabbit holes, play with it for a couple of weeks, and then think about, if TikTok was a wedding planner, what table do you want it to put you on? Is it with the doctors? Hey, if you're funnier than me, then great, fantastic. Comedy could be your thing. But really, you got to think about, are you going to be entertaining and chasing trends, or are you going to be educational and informative? And nothing is wrong with that. There's a lot of depth there. You might only have a couple of thousand followers. It might take you 3-4 months, but there's nothing wrong with that. The point is, the dwell on those followers is going to be phenomenal. And that's where your growth is going to come. Like I can put a TikTok up and I'll get, on a bad day, I'll get 400 people to view that. I can't do that on any of my other channels like that without boosting it. So that's really, really important. Dwell time, yep, I think I answered that. Dwell time is definitely part of the algorithm. And also repeat time. That's why sometimes, if I can give you, and again, I'm not a big fan of hacks. I think your content has to be good. You've got to figure out, what are the content buckets that I'm going to be talking about? What do I want to be an expert on? But again, in terms of like little hacks, if you can get people to repeat the video, if you can put text on, and don't mislead people. Don't put it for 1 second, a whole bank of text. But if you can make it a little bit shorter, get them to repeat, get them to rewatch it, get them to comment, even if it's good or bad, the algorithm loves that. The difference between TikTok and Vine. So the difference is TikTok, like I sort of said before, I think I've touched on it, so I'll go really, really quickly, is TikTok is phenomenal at figuring out exactly what feed I should show you. What are you dwelling on? What are you looking at? What should I be showing you? That's where it's phenomenal on. And that's why, whether it's TikTok or not, it doesn't matter. If honestly, guys, and I mean this, if TikTok died tomorrow and I had to restart, I'm just going to copy that exact same strategy of creating helpful content, 15-second content, getting straight to the point, focusing on if there's a trending sound I can use or trending filter like a green screen. Every so often, Super Bowl ads, I did one on that. Anything I can latch onto, I'm going to follow the same strategy. Are there any industries that shouldn't use TikTok or may not benefit? Maybe, I was going to say government, but I don't know if you, and I don't know what country you're from, but I think it's the New South Wales Police or the Victoria Police. They're actually, they're really good on Facebook. They're very entertaining. They're very, very funny. I don't know. I don't think that there is any industry that shouldn't. Like if you are an industry that, I don't know, like actually we do have a client. I'm just trying to think, right? We do have a client who deals in nursing. So the nursing provider the people that they contact are older. Having said that, they have adult children as well. There might be platforms that might be slower to take off, but the same thing that happened to Instagram is going to happen. Eventually, those industries will follow suit. So at least get onto it, at least understand how it works. And if you're not going to create snackable content there, create it on Instagram, create it on YouTube. Okay. I just got to notice we've got 5 minutes, and that's okay, guys. I'll keep going until I can. And then I will be taking this live for if there's any other questions on TikTok. So my TikTok handle is Moby Siddique, and I'll be doing a live there if you're interested. Okay, there's a question around Reels. Have you compared the growth of Instagram Reels to TikTok? If TikTok becomes banned, do you feel Reels will just be as successful and useful? If they make it more standalone and there's just a Reels app and they invest a crazy amount on it and they pay a bunch of influencers on it, I think that is the one to watch, because again, the growth of TikTok happened when all the influencers from the US came on, the Ellens, the Rocks, Terry Cruz's, all those people. So these people need to go somewhere and take their TikToks. So Reels would definitely be one to watch for sure, I think. Another Reels question. Yeah, I think right now, focus on TikTok, and Reels is definitely the next one to watch. Do you recommend investing in sponsored TikTok posts, or should I focus on organic views? That is a fantastic question. My answer is no. Don't focus on sponsored yet, because it's kind of like paid media. I always sort of say on paid media, you got to get your remarketing right first. If you don't get that right, you're going to struggle with everything else. TikTok, if you don't get the feel, the philosophy, the way of creating content, you're going to be taking videos that work on YouTube and maybe even Instagram and trying it there, and they're not going to work. Become a user, become a creator first. You'll start seeing ads as well. The ads are very, very creative right now, and that will dovetail into ideas, but I wouldn't be doing that right now. The reach is too good for you to ignore. The reach is too good for you to be worried about sponsored posts. It's not like Facebook, Instagram, where it's pay to play. TikTok is not a pay to play platform right now. That's not where the growth is coming from. Legal sector. I love this one. I actually love it. I don't know if I have time to answer this one. How can we target the legal sector who traditionally avoid social channels? I've had legal clients. I'm sure whoever's answered this, we could actually share some stories there. I think that they're a very easy target. I'll be honest with you. I think on TikTok, they're an easy target. We always talk about stuff that's happening in our industry. Lawyers are no different. It's like LinkedIn. A lot of people on LinkedIn, but very few people actually create. A lot more people are on TikTok than you realize. So focusing on cases, focusing on, like funny cases, or like, I don't know, I don't want to talk about any funny cases because they might not be funny to people, but actual cases that are in the media, in the news, what could have been done differently or what should have been done differently. I think those stories are phenomenal. Anything where you can share stories and details. In my space, a lot of people talk about, oh, hey, this is why Doritos campaign was awesome. That's going to work. Okay, just got a couple of minutes. Let's see what else I can do here. How to market a podcast. A lot of my podcasts, I've actually taken those snackable pieces. Not a lot of them actually. A couple of them, I've then turned them into 15-second bite sizes and thrown them onto TikTok. So that you can always go the other way too. Create something somewhere else, but make sure it's straight to the point. How long does it take to get the first big hit? To be honest with you, don't worry about that. Third video, you said, I had a friend who had her third video, 100,000 views. Don't worry about that. I swear, do not worry about that. Focus on that consistency. I posted maybe 50 videos and then I got one with a 1.1 million. It takes time. Like I had nothing for a couple of months and then I had that sort of, sorry, that's not true. I had nothing for about a month and then I had that explosion. I don't think I've got 30 seconds left, guys. These are phenomenal. I'm happy to answer all of these. If you are on TikTok, great. See me in 30 seconds on TikTok now. I'll be live, Moby Siddique. If you're not, quickly download it and I can answer any questions. I'm sorry I didn't get to answer anything else. Follow me there. Check out the podcast, Inbound Buzz. Guys, and I hope you have a fantastic inbound. Thank you so much for making this fun. I was a bit scared it was the first one, but I'm really glad you guys turned out. Thank you so much, and hopefully you got some value. So yes, I'll see you guys there.